Hola amigos y amigas, you are now with Jocelyn y como siempre, I am so grateful you are here. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. You already know all the goodness we're going to be getting into in this video, and if you are new here, welcome as well. If you enjoy lifestyle, spirituality, self-development, journaling, and all of that good stuff, then make sure to click subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my weekly videos and you join in on this beautiful, growing community. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 8 journaling prompts directly inspired by our upcoming new moon in Virgo, taking place on August 27th, 2022. And I'm going to be guiding you through each and every single prompt and expanding on my intention for these prompts and offering you some further invitations to expand your perspective on receiving each of these prompts. So if you resonate with any of these prompts in particular, I would absolutely love to know which ones in the comment section below. If you are desiring to gain deeper insight and understanding on the overall energies of this week and of this new moon, then I highly recommend that you check out the energy reading that I published here on my channel on Sunday. It is such a good reading, which, by the way, this Virgo new moon is less of a moon where we are planting seeds of intention to manifest. There is manifestation in the works, because manifestation is always in the works, whether we are intentional about it or not, whether we are conscious about it or not. But this moon is more so about us checking in with the soil of which we are planting our seeds, of which we are watering seeds we have already planted. This moon is more so about checking in with ourselves, keeping it real with ourselves, with the intention to gain greater clarity and awareness of what it is that we need to do, how it is that we can be more open to receive and access the next phase, the next level, the next season of growth in our lives. So I'm so excited to share these prompts with you. And I just want to briefly share that if you enjoy journaling with me, I am offering my very first 16-week journaling course. It's virtual, it's guided. I'm really excited about it. I'm not going to get fully into it right here, right now, but I am going to put a link in the description below. So if you're interested in that, head on over to the link below. But without further ado, let's get into these 8 journaling prompts. As I've healed and evolved, how have my boundaries healed and evolved? I'm sharing this prompt with you as a very first prompt that I share with you intentionally, because I feel like this is a great prompt to get our mental juices flowing on our self-awareness, because this prompt is going to have us reflecting on, first of all, the ways that we have healed and the ways that we have evolved. And as a result of that, how our boundaries have healed and evolved. So I really want you to hold that space for yourself to reflect on, how has my healing contributed to the healing of my boundaries? What has that looked like? What has that felt like? And how have I acted upon that? How have, I evolved? And how has my evolution influenced the evolution of my boundaries? What has the evolution of my boundaries looked like? How have, my boundaries looked like in the past, and how are they different now? Like really expanding on the healing and the evolution of the self and of the boundaries, and acknowledging that boundaries are incredibly important, right? They are a very integral part to our self-preservation, to our continued ascension, and to our healthy relationships, not only with others, but with ourselves. So on that note, I also want you to keep in mind, often when we think of boundaries, we think of the boundaries that we have with others, but there are also boundaries that we have with ourselves. So reflect on all of that. This is a great first prompt to begin with. And again, if you resonate with this, let me know in the comments below. If acceptance liberates me, what truths do I need to accept so that I may be freed? The other day on Instagram, as I was going on a walk, I shared these words in my story. If peace is your direction, then acceptance is your way. Don't underestimate the power of acceptance. And I think that there's a lot of healing that we need to do collectively surrounding acceptance, because sometimes I feel like we can perceive as acceptance as settling for less. And that's not what we're talking about here, right? We are talking about accepting the truth, right? Allowing ourselves to really accept the truth of the present moment. And I feel like that is where a lot of us are needing to practice acceptance and are feeling called to practice acceptance, is the reality of our current circumstances, right? Perhaps the pace of which our unfoldment is taking place, the season we find ourselves in our lives, the expectations that, may not be met. What are the truths that you need to accept so that you may be freed, so that you may be liberated? This is a very somewhat expansive prompt that I feel will touch each and every single one of us differently. And that's a really beautiful thing. This is one of my favorite prompts that I'm sharing with you, not only in this video, but I think one of my favorite prompts that I've ever shared. So I highly recommend that all of you tune into this prompt, because again, don't underestimate the power of acceptance, and know that at this time, acceptance is a medicine that will really, really heal and expand you in ways that are needed. How would I describe my current relationship with my words and with my voice? Something that has really been coming up for me lately as a collective theme is many awakening to the power of their word, many feeling inspired to be more impeccable with their word, honoring their word, realizing how important it is that they stick to their word, they keep their word, right? And many feeling the strong urge, calling to reclaim their voice, to empower their voice, to liberate their voice, to find their voice. And if this resonates with you, then definitely do this prompt. But I want us all to reflect on, our current relationship with our words and with our voice. What does that look like currently? Do you feel like there could be some more healing in this relationship? And if so, what kind of healing? And what can assist that healing? Do you feel like there's already been a lot of healing taking place in your relationship with your words and with your voice? Do you feel like you have become more intimate or perhaps more distant with your words and with your voice? This is a really beautiful prompt, and there's a lot of different ways that you can describe your relationship with your words and with your voice. And I want you to kind of use your imagination to really see it as a relationship. You know, if you were to kind of create this image of your voice, of your words as its own being that you are in relationship with, what, again, does that relationship look and feel like to you? And how do you desire for that relationship to change? Expand on it as you feel called, but this is a really beautiful prompt to get into. What do I need to communicate or express to bring forth greater flow into my life? What I am trying to make clear in this prompt is the truth that sometimes, if not most of the time, our lack of communication, our lack of expression is the root, is the cause, is the stagnancy, the blockage, the obstacle, the disruption of flow in our life. So, as we reflect on this truth, where have you been? How have you been limiting your communication, limiting your expression, and how may that be disrupting the flow of your life? Where have you been holding back communication? Where have you been holding back expression out of fear that may be causing disruption to the flow of your life? And this is really important for us to become aware of, because to not only become aware of, but to take action on, right? When you gain awareness on the kind of communication and expression you've been holding back, you've been limiting, you've been suppressing, you've been imprisoning, and you need to release, you need to surrender, you need to liberate, right? There's this topic of liberation coming up again. We need to take action on that. And the reason why this is important is because as we ascend to higher timelines, to higher vibrational frequencies, we are needing to be in greater and greater and greater states of flow. And this is why so many of us have been called to practice surrender, letting go of our need to control, because we are being called to bring forth greater flow into our lives, because that is necessary for our continued growth and expansion and ascension. So, all of that to say, what is it that you need to communicate? What is it that you need to express with the intention to, again, bring forth greater flow into your life? And keep in mind that this is not only communication or expression to others, but sometimes it's communication and or expression to yourself. So keep that in mind. If openness and receptivity are required for me to access the next level of my life, where do I need to be more open and receptive? I share this prompt with you because this was one of, if not the main intuitive message that I received in my energy reading for this week and for this new moon. the emphasis and the encouragement to focus on our openness and our receptivity, our ability to receive our blessings, receive our desires, our visions, receive our success, our abundance, receive our, again, next level, next stage, next season of our growth and expansion. And what specifically came up in the reading is being mindful of the ways in which we close ourselves off, the ways in which we limit ourselves, whether consciously or subconsciously, intentionally or unintentionally, that are rooted in fear. Being very mindful of, is the way that I am being, is the way that I am showing up rooted in fear, or is it rooted in love? Is this decision, this choice that I am making, this action that I am taking, coming from a place of fear? Is it coming from a place of love? And being mindful of the survival mechanisms, the defense mechanisms that may be showing up at this time that are outdated, that no longer really serve our highest good. They may have served us well in the past, perhaps when we were children, and that's like an inner child wound that we need to heal, a certain survival tactic or defense mechanism. But these are the things that we need to be very mindful of, because these are the things that are, again, kind of closing off our openness and receptivity, our ability to receive. So knowing the truth that in order for us to access the next level of our life, of our growth, of our ascension, what is it that you need to, where is it that you need to be more open and receptive? Do you need to be more open and receptive to you even acknowledging what your desires are, to you receiving love from and support from others, you being more open and receptive to spirit, to the divine, to other realms and dimensions? Like, what is it? Where is it in your life that you need to be more open and receptive? Really take that moment for yourself to reflect on this, because I feel like this is one of those prompts that requires us to really sit down and hold that space for contemplation. In what ways can I deepen the groundedness and security within myself? This is one of the big themes of the Virgo New Moon, is groundedness and security, feeling a sense of security within oneself, not seeking that outside of you, and really knowing that the greatest sense of security that one will ever experience is the sense of security that comes from the inside out, not from the outside in, right? And as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, this Virgo new moon is less about planting the seeds of intention and more about assessing the soil, the fertility of the soil, the health and wellness of the soil in which we are planting the seeds, in which seeds have already been planted. Because Virgo has that earth energy of being grounded. And as we ascend to higher vibrational timelines, we need to be more deeply rooted so that we can remain in balance and in harmony. So this is important. Knowing the ways in which we can deepen our groundedness and security within ourselves is incredibly important as we continue to ascend to higher vibrational timelines. And as we become more grounded and secure within ourselves, that will only have a positive impact on everything and everyone else in our lives. So, my friend, in what ways can you deepen the roots of your groundedness, the roots of your security within yourself? And as you reflect on this prompt, you may even notice some trust issues that you may have. This is a root chakra prompt. It's a beautiful prompt, and it is an integral prompt. So this is another prompt that I recommend all of us tap into. What areas of my life would benefit from me slowing down? Now, this is not encouraging you to slow down certain flows or streams in your life that are picking up momentum. Allow the momentum to continue moving forward if that is its natural flow in this season of your life. But if you find yourself forcing momentum in certain streams in your life to the point where you are depleting yourself and your energy, then perhaps it is in those streams where you are being called to slow down. And also, this prompt gets us to somewhat even heal our relationship, our perception of a slower pace. Because many have the perception that slowing down will hold you back. Slowing down will have you missing out. Slowing down will not be beneficial for you. But sometimes, if not a lot of the time, slowing down benefits us more than speeding up. And I say this confidently because when we observe nature, nature moves pretty slowly and yet gets everything done in divine time. And it's always in a state of flow. So as we continue to bring up this topic of being in a state of flow, let's keep in mind that sometimes it's us slowing down that will benefit us and our flow. So take this moment with this prompt to reflect on where you may have been speeding things up in your life, perhaps maybe out of fear. Reflect on the areas and aspects of your life, mentally, physically, spiritually, that may experience healing and even growth as a result of you slowing down. So, what areas of your life would benefit from you slowing down? How can my higher self take up more space in my daily devotions? Virgo energy is the energy of being mindful of your day-to-day, right? Being mindful of whether or not what takes up room in your day-to-day is contributing to your higher self, is benefiting your growth and expansion, is for your highest good, is in alignment with the direction that you desire to head towards. So this is what I mean by daily devotions, our day-to-day, and what our day-to-day consists of, our routines, our rituals. And does our higher self show up in our routines, our rituals, our day-to-day? And I made this prompt the last prompt that I share with you because now you have so much context to work with. You can reflect on the past prompts and what you wrote for the past prompts, and you can observe how your higher self can show up and take up more space to assist you in the manifestation, in the opening, in the healing of what you've written down. And make it an intention to allow your higher self to actively choose to invite your higher self to take up more space in your daily devotions. So definitely, if you journaled some of the past prompts, take a moment to look back at what you wrote down and allow it to assist you in expanding on this prompt. How can my higher self take up more space in my daily devotions? And that, my friends, are the 8 journaling prompts for this new moon in Virgo taking place on August 27th, 2022. I pray that there was at least one prompt that really resonated with you and called to your heart and your spirit. And if there was, again, I would love to know which prompt really resonated with you in the comment section below. And again, if you enjoy journaling with me, if you enjoy my guidance, if you have been seeking to journey through expansion with community, I highly recommend that you look into the course that is now open for registration. There's more info on it in the link in the description that I share below. And again, for more in-depth insights on the overall energy for this week and this moon, check out the energy reading. Thank you so much for being here. I am so, so honored to be received by you, to share this present moment with you. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace, blessings, so much love and gratitude. Bye.